Welcome to the Grounded Path, Tools for Soul. I'm Emma Muir. This podcast is for men who are tired of carrying everything alone, tired of performing who they think they should be, and ready to connect with who they truly are. Together, we'll explore self-awareness, emotional intelligence, fatherhood, relationships, and the beliefs that shape how we show up in the world. Because the goal isn't to become someone else, the goal is to come home to yourself. So let's begin. Hey there, welcome to the Grounded Path. Just in case you're watching and you're thinking, that looks a little bit different, I do want to say I broke my light. Yep, that's right. So it didn't bend in a way that I thought it was going to bend, and here we are without a light. But this episode is really important, and this is the time that I have to record, so I'm going to go with it. And in this episode, we're going to talk about something that most men will do anything to avoid, really, the relationship with themselves and the emotion that quietly shapes that relationship more than anything else. Shame. Let's be clear, not the shame that you joke about with your mates, not the shame that you throw around online. I'm talking about the shame that you never speak aloud. The shame you bury so deep it becomes the lens you live through your whole life. Today we're going to break that open. Every man, every single person, but I'm talking to men, so every man is in a relationship with himself. Most don't know it. And let's be fair, if they do, they're not really looking hard into it. But life is full of relationships. Your partner, your kids, your work, your mates, your home, workmates, even just the local shop that you go to and you chat to every day, your coffee shop people. You are in a relationship in every part of your life. All the places that you show up every day. Those, and the ones that I've mentioned specifically are the obvious ones. But the most powerful relationship, the one that dictates every single pattern in your life, is the one every man avoids. Almost every man. The relationship you have with yourself. And that subtle relationship reveals itself in subtle places. How you eat, how you rest, if you do rest, how you cope with stress or ignore it, how you speak to yourself, maybe don't even know how you speak to yourself, how you numbed out yesterday, and how you might numb out today, how you push yourself in the name of being a man, the habits you defend, the silence you avoid, and the emotions that you refuse to feel. These quiet relationships determine the quality of your life. And when a man is disconnected from himself, everything else in his life becomes compromised. Because underneath this disconnection sits something really deeper. Yeah, that's right. Shame. There's a real cost of shame. Excuse me. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. So let's talk about shame. Not the clinical definition, the lived, the heavy, and the silent kind. I lived with shame for most of my life. Lived through shame, created most of my life through shame. For most of it. Mine came from childhood trauma, and it shaped everything. How I ate, how I dressed, how I showed up in relationships, how I worked, how I made decisions. Every single choice was filtered through one question. And I'm going to be really honest, it wasn't known to me, this question, until it was. And what I mean by that is it was sitting in my subconscious, and because it was a pattern that ran everything, I didn't even know I was asking myself this until I dug deeper, until I understood more. So that one question is, how will this be perceived by other people? And because shame, that's what it does. It makes you live for external feedback. It makes you abandon yourself. It makes you forget who you are. And shame forces you into habits and patterns that keep you exactly where you are. And the hardest part of it all is shame convinces you that this is who you are and not something you've learned, not a pattern you've created. Most men don't realize that shame is running their life because shame is so quiet and it wants to be that way, likes to be hiding in all the in-betweens of your patterns as well, and underneath all your decisions, because it never screams, it whispers. And it whispers in ways that may look like, I should know better. I can't let anyone else see this. I'll sort it out myself. I can't fail. If they knew the truth, they'd leave. I can't make a different choice because people will think I'm selfish. I'm letting people down. Can you see? Shame isn't guiding you, it's caging you. And because shame is internal, it becomes like a dead space. There's no projections, no expression, no clarity, just contraction, smallness. Living inside this internal world that you didn't even know you created half the time. And most men live in that contraction. I absolutely lived in that contraction all the time, with all of that script running through my head. Because underlying it all, I didn't trust my choices. I only trusted the behavior that I'd created. Because it took me a long time to seek help. And shame makes men seek safe help, not real help. And I've definitely talked about this before. There's a few ways that men will go around getting help, and that's one of the biggest symptoms of shame, is where men will go for support. So most men don't seek outside help. Like I said, they go to the safest people, their partner, their mates, their mum, their dad, their siblings. And here's the truth that's really hard to say out loud. But look, I'll say it for you because it took me a long time to do that as well, to gather a circle that one would feed back to me and be able to support me. And if they couldn't, they would tell me I needed support. Because the thing is, the people that are closest to you can't be impartial. They love the version of you they already know. Growth threatens the dynamic that they're used to, so they support you, but they don't challenge you. And the other thing is, if you change, that shame driver says, well, this might change my relationship. Because it might not necessarily be that they're afraid of your growth or afraid for you to change. They may really want you to change. They may already see. But what it also means for them is that they may have to change with you. And that's terrifying when they feel like they haven't signed up for it. And the version of you that's struggling is the version that they expect. Real change requires someone who isn't emotionally entangled with your identity. That's why outside support, a coach, a guide, counsellor, a grounded third party is really powerful. Not because they have more answers, but because they're not invested in keeping you the same. Shame doesn't have to define you, it can redirect you. It definitely redirected me. And what I learned is shame is not the enemy. It's actually a compass. In Path to Peace, I talk about this question, and links are below for what I'm talking about. And it's this question that dissolves shame instantly, because the purpose of shame is to make choices that you feel really good about. So the question is, do I feel good about my choice? Not, will people approve? Will this keep the peace? Will this make me look good? Will this support everyone else but me? Will everyone be happy with me? It's simply just, do I feel good about my choice? And I've got to say, this is where most men freeze. It's where I froze. And it took me a long time to unpack what my choices are, to be really strong in them, to feel really good about them. And also to continually uncover and de-layer everything that was over what a choice really looked like for me, and feeling good about a choice really felt good to me. And what that felt like to feel good about a choice. Because making choices from self-truth, not obligation, at first feels really selfish. It's the training and conditioning, it's the pattern. Let me be really clear here. Truth isn't selfish. Alignment is not selfish. Honesty, not selfish. And yes, other people may not love your choices, but that discomfort, it's temporary. And the cost of not making choices that are about you, abandoning yourself, it's fucking lifelong. Even as a mother, even with a full house, even navigating family dynamics and all the energetic and design differences that we have, and teenage years, and single mum, I still come back to one thing now. What feels true and right for me? And that one question consistently helps me rebuild my life. Now, if you want to know where you sit with shame, there is a link in the show notes in the bio. I've created a really simple survey to help you see where you currently sit in the shame cycle, and whether you're stuck in silence, guilt, avoidance, suppression, or projection. It's quick, it's direct, and it will show you what you haven't been able to see yet. So if you're ready to work with someone who will support you, challenge you, connect with me. The link is in the show notes as well. And let's find out your next step together. If you already know, click the links that you want to go to and absolutely enjoy. Thanks so much for sharing your time and energy and being here with me. I really look forward to hearing from you and seeing the decision that you've made. Thanks again. And I hope you enjoy Tools for Soul, the Grounded Path. Hey, thanks for joining me on the Grounded Path. If today's conversation sparks something in you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share this episode with another man who might benefit from hearing it. As you move through your week, remember this: you don't need another mask. You definitely don't need another coping mechanism. You don't need another version of yourself. You simply need the courage to reconnect with what's already true for you. Until next time, take care.